Munch. Hey guys, welcome to HorsePLAY Live Uncut. This is the pre-show. And this is also episode 46. Today is October 30th. Shortly it will be Halloween, technically. This episode's titled Radio Darkness and Horror Talk. Kept it simple. A little keyword, a little SEO love up in there. Nah, I mean, word. I'm joined as always by Obi, who's a bit of a salty dog tonight. So he might bite off.
Sauces.
He might bite off someone's nose tonight or something, or their ear. He might pull a Mike Tyson. And we have Andy Urquhart from 42 Level 1 and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. cast over at All Games. And who's scrolling up on the show notes?
Andy.
I'm
not even touched it.
Andy's trying to troll us already with the show notes.
God, dude.
I'm just trying to read them, man.
Oh, okay. No, because you started highlighting everything. I'm seeing everything
The
turn gray.
trolls, man.
Yeah.
The trolls.
I touched nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is his first time on the show. It's been a long time in the making.
Yeah, I figured I better pop over whilst the time difference was a wee bit less than normal.
Yeah, usually it's like a 5-hour time difference. Now it's only 4 hours, right?
Yeah, only 4 hours just now. I think you guys go back, this weekend as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of timey-wimey stuff going on there.
Yeah, definitely.
I always wonder if there's people that like habitually just go to like the borders of different countries and time zones and just play hopscotch with the line. You know, it's like it's 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Hey, yo,
Folk definitely
before
do
you
that.
add Chip in, make sure you tell me so I can turn the cameras off because then it shows everybody's Skype name and all that good shit. Oh.
I'll let you add him then. You have his information, don't you? Yeah, he should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'm ready to start.
Are you?
Bye. Yes.
Oh
I
yeah,
am.
you know what? I forgot to set up the music. Music is important. What the hell?
Who's your daddy?
Oh yeah. By the way, my voice is better.
Uh-oh. No one is safe tonight.
No, you're not, little man. Ooh. As long as you got a big pair of strong hands. Oh.
Indeed.
Big pair of strong hands and some hair on that face just makes me tickle pink.
Of course, my dog is just acting up right as the show's about to start. I don't want to like
Dog's nowhere to be found.
trap kick him. Hey, Obi, you haven't heard? Have you heard our sexy intro for TWTT? Listen to this.
I have heard that. I heard it last
You're
week.
about to listen to the Timey-Wimey Tea Time Podcast, a geekyantics.net
hear
and
anything.
allgames.com production.
Oh, my bad. How about now?
You're about to listen to the Timey-Wimey Tea Time Podcast,
You don't
a
hear it?
geekyantics.net
Nope.
and allgames.
Oh, let me restart the call real quick.
Lollipop, lollipop, oh, lollipop.
All right. Uh-oh. There we go. There we go. All right, tell me if you hear it now.
You're about to listen to the Timey-Wimey
this.
Tea Time Podcast, a geekyantics.net and allgames.com production. Find out what everyone's
You heard it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I like her voice.
Lollipop, lollipop, ooh la 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 lollipop. Get him.
I'm starting.
Are you starting? You sure? You ready?
Oh, nope. I'm done.
What the? You ready, Andy?
Oh yeah, I'll set one.
All right, so we're gonna do a little intro music, and then Obi will do his spiel and bring us in.
Oh my god. Freaking dog. What the hell?
Yeah, I know. He makes me facepalm. I have to treat him like a parakeet and throw like a tarp over his cage. It's so bad. All right, here we go.
And welcome. This is HorsePLAY Live. Welcome back, geeks and gamers. This is HorsePLAY Live. Today is October 30th, 2014, and this is episode 46 entitled Radio Darkness and Horror Talk. Just a reminder, all the official intros and outros of HorsePLAY Live are brought to you by TechnoAxe, and that's Techno with a K. Yeah. Yeah, I'm reading something else that somebody wrote. Anyway, I'm always joined, of course, by everybody's favorite bear lizard / whatever you want to call him today, Yogizilla. What's up, man?
If you fumble for words, you could always go for Pretty Little Princess or My Little Pony. For those that have listened and joined us live before, you might get those weird references. I'm not a crossdresser, I promise.
And the funny thing is I do get those references. I've watched too many of your timey-wimey tea times.
Hey, we keep that show very clean, sir. We actually have a little more order there. It's like night and day. This is a show we just go completely crazy, and then there we're kind of like, pass me the tea, please. You know, and we lift our pinkies when we drink. It's very fancy. But we are also joined by an old friend of mine in the podcasting circle, someone from All Games. He's on 42 Level 1 and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. cast, Andy Urquhart. Use the U silent, by the way, folks. It's very fancy. His name is fancy.
Well, thank you. Yo, guys, how's it going?
What's up? You can find him on Twitter, by the way.
Yeah.
Damien. His name is a pain in the butt, so I'm just going to get this out of the way. He's at Damien with the E. And it's 14273. I'm pretty sure Andy just smashed his head on the keyboard to come up with some random numbers.
No, it's actually a bit more geeky than that. I used to play Warhammer 40k, and they brought out a game called Inquisitor, and there was a character in it called Damien 1427, and that was my original first ever email address, and I forgot the password, so I added a 3, and I've just used that as my handle ever since.
Actually, I didn't know that story, but my backstory is funnier. Your version is much geekier, though. Warhammer is awesome. Yeah, have you gotten into the Space Hulk games at all?
I played the old. You mean the PC game?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I played them back in the day, whenever it was.
The remake is pretty darn good too.
No, I haven't played the remake.
Yeah, if you like Warhammer, check it out. It's still turn-based, but like it's got the facelift and everything. It's really sexy.
Nice.
But yeah, later on, Chip Sulla, the other half of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. cast, will be joining us. He's still doing the B Team podcast live right now. But yeah, that's Captain Chaos on Twitter. Captain without the A at the it's CAPTIN, which is always confusing some people. I wonder if that was deliberate or not. I was give Chip a hard time about that. So yeah, what's everybody been up to? And Obi's enjoying a fine lollipop over there. Is that a blow pop?
No, this is a Tootsie Pop.
Those are not as good.
But I don't like the gum, so I like Tootsie Rolls, so naturally. And my son gets mad every time I eat them because of their heads. And I just need a little candy. And yeah, so he gets pissed off at me every time I eat him.
Dude, Halloween and Easter, the stockpile of candy, it's like we have to just go crazy and just trying to help each other out finishing it, because there's always candy that people don't like as much, and I'm like, I'll take it. That's just a sweet tooth.
Right.
So yeah, so what's everyone been up to? Playing any cool video games? Anything fun? Obi's
I'm
very
just-
distracted.
I'm waiting for this Evolve Alpha to hit tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I heard some lucky people got into the alpha on PS4.
Yep. I got in, so I'll be playing that tomorrow night.
Now, have you played Natural Selection at all?
Nope, never played it.
So Evolve is a completely fresh concept for you.
Entirely, yep. And I never even played, what was the other one that the developers did? Left 4 Dead?
You never played Left 4 Dead?
Nope, never played Left 4 Dead either, so it's very, very new to me, the whole concept.
And you're
Nice.
missing out.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead is still huge. Left 4 Dead 2, people still play it like crazy. Last I checked, what was it, Obi? We did the math. There was like a top 50 chart on Steam, and I think Left 4 Dead was one of the top 5 most played games on Steam still.
Yeah, still, it's like number 4 or something last time I checked.
Yeah,
It's still up top 10.
crazy. And of course,
Yeah, most
Dota 2. Dota 2's up there because it's free, and Team Fortress 2 is free. Hey, will you stop
Well-
with the Dota 2?
What I've been doing last week is, last weekend, you guys know, there was a huge charity event for Extra Life on Twitch and whatnot. And Twitch even made a charity, the actual tab for them. Excuse me, Extra Life. So everybody that was streaming for Extra Life, you could just go and see them in one spot. And I had a few, Thor and of course Waystone and all the DG community and everything. So I spent most of my time with them. And then of course we got another little co-host on Sunday Dose, so we were having lots of laughs and making it fun, and yeah.
Did
been
you go?
wild.
Did you go and support our friends over at Gaming Death Podcast too?
I did.
They hit
I donated $5 to them. I donated $5 to Thor. Then I 25 total. But yeah, I donated mine and gave a little bit to everybody. So
Yeah,
It
there
was real fun.
were way too many people I knew doing this. I just tried to tweet out and Facebook as much as I could. But yeah, I'm happy. Chris and gang over at Gaming Death Podcast, they hit their goals for Extra Life this year and they exceeded them. And guys, at one
Like-
point they actually hit like 110 viewers which is really good for someone that doesn't ever really stream outside of
Right.
doing the Thursday night
Definitely.
show. Yeah, because on Twitch,
Well-
if you're not consistent on Twitch, people will forget about you quickly, especially if you don't
And
have boobs.
And my plan for next year, Yogi, whether it's going to be with Geeky Antics, which it'll be with Geeky Antics, but hopefully Geeky Antics can help me. But I want to do that 24-hour, or even start like Friday night and then Sunday afternoon or something. Do like a 48-hour, and then Saturday or something. All the donations on that stream go to charity or something. But we're gonna do it up next year. I promise you that.
Oh, we did the test run. We did the like almost 72-hour Twitch marathon. So if we could just get more people on the rotation, and do it as a team effort, that'd be awesome. Because 24
Well-
hours for one person is pretty brutal.
Right. Well, I mean, it depends on what you have. I mean, if 24 hours for one or two people, like if like me and you do it for 24 hours, that's fine. Because then, you can play for your, play for your time, and then I can play for 12 hours. I mean, I can play anything. But for next year, definitely, because I'm gonna have a new computer and I'm gonna have all the other stuff. So we're gonna have a fun time next year. A very fun time. Because then I might have some really cool giveaways on top of it. I can't spoiler either. Can't.
Do they
can't
let you
spoil
do?
anything yet.
I don't think they let you incentivize the charity streams. It's like a legal thing.
No. Like for before and after,
Oh, okay.
like we do like a couple live streams for our fans that help us out, and especially like afterwards, we do instead of a charity live stream, we're gonna do for everybody that banded together and was that gave a little bit. Where I'm gonna give back kind of thing. Not and it's for charity, so people shouldn't be worried about donating money. But that's just how I am. If I can give back something, if I can get couple headsets or, just whatever. Even if it's, game money for Steam or whatever. I mean, that's just something to do just to give back to our fans that have helped out so much. So, yeah, we're not incentivizing. We don't want to get in trouble.
I think I'm sure you can incentivize it because I don't know if you guys listen to PS Nation, but those guys do a sort of raffle every year where if you donate, I think it's like if you donate $10, then you get a ticket for the raffle, and then so every $10 you get a ticket for the raffle, and it's up to like 10 tickets or something like that, and they get all sorts of stuff like. I think this year they've raised over $13,000 so far.
Nice. Well, no, you can do it, Yogi, because like Waystone was giving away Waystone skins, like ward skins, and they were giving away Shaper skins and everything throughout the whole stream.
Well, the thing is that the reason
I
I asked is because I used to own a company that all we did was create contests and giveaways and manage them for our clients, and we had small businesses, we have Fortune 500 brands, and one of the biggest things was that if you're doing a charity function, you can't incentivize it because it's like a legal gray area. It's too much liability.
Right. Well, before we do it, I'm gonna get everything, like I'm supposed to, and get everything down. But everybody else was doing it, so I mean, if it's illegal, then half the people that were streaming for Extra Life are doing something illegal. So we're not even gonna get into that. But if you guys are new to Horseplay, welcome to the Our Geeky Sanctuary. Every week, Horseplay Live is, of course, where geeks come to play in. 9 times out of 10 with me and Yogi, we get in trouble too. If not with you guys, with our wives. It's just how it is. But we are the flagship radio or talk radio show for Geeky Antics Network in collaboration with allgames.com. Our show covers all the aspects of geek culture, with a special focus on indie and strategy games, technologies, and the social issues geeks face every day while gaming, along with community events. And, I forgot, and we rant like a son of a bitch. God, I cannot leave out the rants because that's like part of that's like half the show. We got to keep it under 2 hours, and, we're probably ranting for about an hour of it.
True story. Otherwise, I have a lot of editing to do after the fact.
But we love collaborating and shouting out our fellow geeks. So if you guys, if we mention you, let us know, and we'll so we can return some love. And of course, Horseplay Live is every Thursday, and I think I said that wrong, but it's Horseplay Live is every Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific on Twitch channels Geeky Antics, and simulcasted on Yogizilla as well. So tonight on the show, we're gonna get a little dark and talk a little bit of horror. And of course, in radio dramas. Yeah, we're gonna share some of our.
What's that supposed to be?
And for our Halloween feature, we're gonna dig deep into what makes a horror great in any medium. But first, we have a few.
You got your voice. You got your voice back, so you got to do the epic opening.
Oh, okay. Obligatory news.
Yay!
Okay.
So we haven't done news for like 2 or 3 weeks now. Like not much news. So figured that catch us up a little bit. Still trying to go lighter on the news though. 'Cause I think there's plenty of great podcasts out there for the news fix. B Team Podcast is amongst them. 42 Level 1, Gaming Death. So we got a little bit of everything here tonight. One of the things I picked up, if you're looking for some good indie horror fun, I found an article from IndieWire, and the dog barking is not part of the article, by the way. That's just an added bonus in case you hear that. But if you go to IndieWire.com, it's titled "The 13 Best New Indie Horror Movies to Watch at Home for Halloween," and it's a recent article, so you can get some. I tend to. It's kind of funny. In the horror scene, as far as movies go, has gone really down the shitter. But horror shows or scary shows or supernatural shows are on the rise. So it's like they can't both be thriving at the same time. So the movies suck now, but the shows are great. However, the indie scene is always like the saving grace. It's the same thing for video games, I feel. You know, when the big studios are giving us fail sauce, you go to the indies. So this list is pretty cool. I haven't seen actually any of these except I saw bits and pieces of Under the Skin and Oculus, which I've heard a lot of. But Afflicted looks interesting. Borgman looks interesting. Honeymoon. There's a bunch of stuff. There's one called Willow Creek that seems like it's reminiscent of like a classic Jason story, Friday the 13th.
I like the first one.
We're gonna do our ABCs.
Of death.
Oh yeah.
Two.
No, the one that I think a lot of our hot-blooded male viewers out there would like is Under the Skin because it has Scarlett Johansson in it. She plays an alien that inhabits a woman's body. It's kind of like a Species kind of story. And there's a little bit of skin. That's all I'm going to say. You're welcome. But yeah, check out the list. If you're looking for some cool stuff to do for Halloween, to just chill outside of, going to parties and trick-or-treating, whatever you do for Halloween. Maybe you just want to sit back with a loved one or your family, watch some scary movies. Just keep in mind, horror is probably not a very family-friendly thing, but I feel like most people in the modern times, you don't care. It's like, at Walker StarCon, I saw there were kids like 6, 7 years old asking questions during the panels. And like Greg Nicotero, who does a lot of the zombie, he's like famous for doing a lot of the zombie makeup and special effects. He's like, "How old are you?" He's like, and the girl's like, 6. And then he goes, "All right. So what's the scariest moment in the show?" He's like, "It doesn't scare me." And he's like, "I'm doing something wrong." People are getting desensitized to horror. That's bad. Then again, most horror these days is not really horror. It's like cheap jump scares and crap. We're gonna get into that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But guys, in video games, the big talk for better or worse is The Evil Within, which from what I've seen has received pretty mixed reviews. The game is fun to watch. That's what I would say. But to me, it just seems like more of your typical jump scares. And I'm probably gonna get some trolls because I'm saying this, but I feel they did a great job with the environments and the graphics are nice to look at. But doesn't it feel like all these horror games coming out now, and they are on the rise, but all these survival horror games are all glorified hide-and-seek games? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Or
That's what I think.
I don't know that Evil Within is necessarily so much like that. I think that there are some parts of it where you need to go and hide, but you do have a gun and weapons and things, so you can defend yourself much more than that you can do in things like Outlast.
Yeah, Outlast is really bad about that.
Yeah, that's all you do in Outlast. You just hide. I think Alien, the new Alien game, you can probably level that at it as well. You just go and hide in cupboards and things.
Yeah, I've heard that if you don't like slow-paced games or games that are pure like stealth, that's something you want to skip. Which is a shame because, you would think Aliens or Alien Universe, because they are different movies, folks, and don't tell the purists that they're not, because they are. But I like both of the movies, Alien and Aliens, and I feel like with such a rich universe, they could do so many great video games. Back in the days, they did great video games with inferior hardware. I remember Doom and Doom 2 had Alien mods, and they were really good. But now that we have all this power, it's like people don't try. Like the same thing could be said about The Walking Dead Survival Instinct. What a horrible game.
Yeah.
And well, now they just jack up the graphics, so you have to have the best graphics card ever, or you can't play it on what it's supposed to play it on. And then you're like, well, why can't I play this game? Well, you need a better graphics card. I just fucking upgraded it 6 months ago.
Yeah.
A good one. No.
Yeah, that's lazy.
That's everything, though, dude. I mean, with everything that's came out, whether it's been on, I can't say nothing for PS4 or Xbox, but for computer games wise, if you don't have one of the best computers that you can buy, it's like you can't run anything on full graphics because you don't have what it takes to run the damn game.
That's just lazy programming, and and part of it is also they jerk each other off. It's like, hey, we'll program this game as make this game a resource hog so we can push the hardware market, and we want X percentage of all the sales you get in these coming months or whatever. They have all kinds of deals like that. A lot of inside baseball, circle jerk type stuff. It's a little frustrating because that's the thing that's changed in the video game industry is that before it used to be you had really shitty hardware and you couldn't only do so much with the hardware. How can we make a game that's fun and convincing enough, immersive enough, given the restrictions? You know, NES was, you know, Nintendo Entertainment System was at the time the weakest console of its class. Mm. Yet they have found all kind of tricks to make the games look beautiful, you know, not slow down so much, you know, and be fun. So there's something to be said about that, you know.
Well, and think too with you know, think about the indie games type too. You know, speaking of the indie games, but that's why indie game developers are having so many players, is because they don't make their games take every resource that your computer has to play it. So then if it is fun, especially if it's a Kickstarter or something that they're just starting out and it's a fun game, and people can actually play it without having a badass system.
Yeah, that's the thing.
On the rise.
A lot of these games are just like, you know, they're like the crisis of these days is like just a game that you get just to show off your computer specs, you know, your rig. And that's kind of a shame. It's like they shouldn't be tech demos. They should be fun. What happened to that? We got a lot of stuff going on in here in the chat. BFT 9000 says that Alien Isolation was very tense. He never spent so long walking up a short staircase. Now, tension is a very big element in horror, and that's good. But you also have to think about the pacing. I mean, does that make for a fun video game where it's like you're just slowly creeping along the whole time? That's scary. he said.
My clenched butt said no.
Yeah, there you go.
I wanted to go fast, but my ass was clenching like I was running through him. Never mind.
And somehow we got to talk about burgers. Now I'm hungry. Darn you, Spathy! Shout out. That's the other Andy. We have the other Andy in the chat.
Was.
Yeah, that's Andy Futral.
He's clearly never seen Highlander.
Oh, Highlander! You're tempting me to talk about Endgame. Then we'll get into a debate about that. So let's not. But I'll just nod.
Just sit back and eat my lollipop. There you go.
Eat it? You can't eat it. You have to like enjoy it little by little. Don't be like the owl that just took a chomp out of it. It's like a 1, a 2, 3. Yeah, we're nerds. So another big release that everybody's been talking about is Bayonetta 2. Who I you know, I haven't been keeping up with it because honestly I don't plan on getting a Wii U. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but the original Bayonetta was published by Sega. This is published by Nintendo and is developed by Platinum Games. Is that right, Andy?
I believe that's right. Yep, and the original one was on PS3 and 360.
And this is a Wii U only exclusive, which is kind of a shame in some ways. Now, I'm not saying that Wii U is not worth getting. I mean, actually, the Wii U has been on a bit of a rise. A year ago, a lot of us were saying that once they drop the price, they're probably, you know, by the time Christmas holiday season come back, they're gonna bounce back, and they are. What? Why?
Why? Smash Brothers.
Well, Smash Brothers and Bayonetta 2, I would say, is what's kicking it up. And Hyrule Warriors is worth talking about too. I mean, Zelda.
Right. Well, I've asked like several people that just got one recently. I said, "Why'd you get it?" Well, I want to play Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
What about any other games that's on there? Well, I don't know. I'm buying it for Smash Brothers. Okay, sweet.
Oh, I won't lie. I mean, as much as they're regurgitated, I can always, you know, jump into a Mario Kart or a Smash Brothers or what's another one that's a guilty pleasure? Mario Party. I'll play the hell out of Mario Party. I don't know why I find those stupid mini games so satisfying. So I guess it helps that I'm really good at them and I piss people off. They're like, "How are you so good at the domino game?" It's like, I'm really fast with the A button. But anybody...
I did get to play Bayonetta 2 this weekend because I was down at Ali's and he's got it. And it's pretty decent. It's not my type of game though. It's like, I don't know if you guys played DMC Devil May Cry.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically like that.
Yeah.
Except it's Bayonetta.
You have to like the hack and slash stylized combo arcade fighter kind of games. Yeah, it's definitely very much. I mean, it was Sega's answer to you know, Devil May Cry. Now it's kind of switched hands, but the games received 9s and 10s across the board. What I found interesting is that IGN, and believe me, we're not fans of like huge media outlets here, because you can only take their word by it with a grain of salt. But IGN is one of the better ones, I would say, and they're very picky about who they give a 10 out of 10, and they gave this a 10 out of 10. It's not, I think I read somewhere, I think I heard on Gaming History 101 they said it too, that they only have given out 10 or 14 perfect 10s in the whole time they've been doing game reviews. So that's a big deal. I mean, again, it's, like you said, Andy, if it's your cup of tea, you're gonna love it. But if it's not your game, you're not gonna like it. In its class, it's an amazing game, and I'm tempted to get a Wii U, just not right now. Definitely not with the move and everything going on. Not in my budget, and I might get killed.
Christmas time for me, I'll be getting a Wii U, definitely.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers is too much of a big draw. I can't not buy it.
Yeah, I mean, is it the gameplay though, or is it the nostalgia, like having all those characters from games that may not ever come back, franchises that may not ever come back, but they're there to play with?
It's a little bit of both, but I mean, like, it's just so much fun to play that. Like, see just couch multiplayer, like playing that game with a couple of pals over, so brilliant.
Yeah. Do they still have the little one-hit smacks? Like, you could give someone a backhand, a pimp smack, and then throw them off the screen. It's like an instant KO. Remember that?
I'm not sure if they'll be in this one. Well, I haven't played the Wii U version yet, but I can't remember. They were definitely in the last one.
Yeah, the Wii version definitely had it. I would play Bowser. He was slow as crap. He walked like he's going through molasses, but then he just give you that backhand. If he landed just right, instant knockout, piss people off. What a troll move.
Yep.
But so other gaming news. This is a little bit older, but our friends over at Pixelated Pints reminded me of this. What's that, Obi?
Need to add Chip.
Oh, you want me to add him?
I can't. It won't let me. You're the call.
All right, I will add him right now.
Jeez.
Wait, you told me to wait for you. But anyway, this is actually back in like August, I think, that a bunch of like frustrated gamers sued or attempted to start a class action lawsuit against Guerrilla Games and Sony for Killzone Shadowfall, because they were mad about the resolution. They said it was deceptive marketing. It got thrown out finally, but it's just this whole resolution war thing. Like, seriously, people need to give it up. You don't play on consoles if you're worried about stupid things like 1080p versus 720p. That's not what you play on a console for. You play for the uniformity and the out-of-box experience. You're not to do proverbial penis comparisons. That frustrates me to hell. Chip!
Hey guys, what's up?
You joined mid-rant.
Yes.
We're talking about peas, man. We're talking about the peas.
Yeah, that's just bullshit. Who cares? I mean, I honestly really don't pay attention, and you really can't tell. You can slightly tell the difference, but it's not enough to get your panties in a bunch, is it?
No, I don't care. And the thing is, it was
Obi,
just...
You're giving me funny looks.
I'm not.
Obi's in a special mood tonight. He's sassy tonight. But it's funny. The game runs at 920 by 1080, which is 1080p. But then and that's the widescreen format of 1080p. But it briefly drops to like something like 1875 by 1080.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, I know. And people
give me a refund, and I think I need money and compensation for pain and suffering.
What's what they wanted? I think that was the whole thing. They wanted damages for like emotional trauma and like false advertising and some stupid stuff like that. And the false advertising, not so much of a stretch, but like emotional trauma, if that's accurate, that's, oh my gosh, that's really reaching. But they threw it out and said that it was just a case of a business being hopeful in their projections, but not false advertising. And they were like, okay, peace out, get out of here. And Andy's joining Twitch too. He's joining our Twitch chat. Is that right, Andy?
Yeah, but I'm in there.
Nice. Say hello to everybody. Because we are live on Twitch, guys. Don't forget. Twitch.tv/Geeky Antics.
Andy and I have been doing a show together for over a year, and I didn't realize he was this ugly until now. I've never really seen him before.
You're no piece of cheesecake.
Well, tonight's sub theme is Epic Beer Club, so we should like tweet out hashtag Epic Beer Club.
That is true. Well, it is No Shave November.
Oh yeah, Movember.
Yeah. Well, in a day, I guess it will be. But yeah, actually, we're better than ZZ Top. We're 4 guys with beards.
Dude, we should totally start our little cover band now.
Yeah, there we go.
But we'll just play chip tunes
Good luck, boys.
all day long.
Good luck, boys.
Ah, Obi.
Nope, I ain't having it.
Ah, no fun.
Nope.
So yeah, so I think the consensus we already reached is who cares, right? So we're moving on. But here's another big piece of news. Here's another big piece of news, you guys. Activision has announced that Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is expected to perform 40% worse than Ghosts and 70% worse than Black Ops 2.
Why is that? Why? I'm gonna ask a question right now. I was just watching a stream the other day. Okay.
I knew you'd like
And-
this, OB. I knew that'll get you
Yeah,
excited.
you know I'm gonna get it. I was just watching a stream. Okay, and these guys have been playing Call of Duty since number 1. And they said, "Thank you very much, Ghosts, for fucking up everything with Call of Duty. Thank you for making our sales go down by 50+% just because Ghost sucks ass." Now, how many people are gonna actually play the new Call of Duty? I would. I actually want to play it
Yeah.
just because it looks awesome. Is like they changed so much stuff in there. I'm gonna get it eventually if the boss lets me, but still, I'm gonna try.
the old ball and chain.
I mean, I gave up on Call of Duty years ago. It's not really the genre I like. I'm not a big first-person shooter fan, but you see these videos, and even I'm thinking, maybe, it wouldn't. I guess I could play it. It's not gonna. It can't suck that bad. It's a Call of Duty. It's gonna be a Bruckheimer film. I remember a couple ago. I don't remember which one it was, but I was playing, and you were racing or in a little pontoon boat in the middle of New York Harbor with all these ships blowing up around you and all this stuff. And it's like, this is awesome. It's just it's very Bruckheimer, but this is like playing the movie. I really enjoyed that, but I could care less about the online multiplayer crap. It's just tell a great story, and if it's 4 to 6 hours, I probably got my money's worth. But yeah, I'm slightly interested, but we just finished recording the B team, and my co-host, who is a huge first-person shooter fan and used to be a huge Call of Duty fan, I asked him, "So, are you getting the new Call of Duty?" He goes, "No, not after how bad Ghost sucked."
Now I've seen the kids playing Ghosts, and I'm not even remotely tempted to really play. And usually you have the newness factor. It's like, oh, it's something different, but not really. And I'm like, yeah. I'll ask them like, oh, let me play a few rounds. I'll get your stats up, because they just run and gun and get themselves killed all the time. And I'm like, I'm more stealthy. I like the tactical shooters, and it didn't really appeal to me that much, except for like the way they change some of the stuff with the sights and whatnot. But this game, even though it's stealing from a few games, they are refreshing the series going to the future. I think the kind of sci-fi spin is going to revitalize the series. So I think initially they might have weak sales, but I think it'll pick up, and this might be the fresh direction that the series needs. Because for me, the campaign is cool, but I skipped the campaign on Black Ops 2 and and I haven't even tried Ghost yet. So I actually like the multiplayer more, and it's like now I'm like, whatever, pass. This might change. It might change our minds, though. I agree, because the epicness, the scale of the storytelling is pretty good.
I'm sure it will sell millions.
Yeah,
I mean, there's just certain people that it's like Madden. It comes out every year. They buy their their Madden. They buy their Call of Duty. So you have that base group, and then depending on how well the game reviews, then you're going to either pick up or drop from there. So I mean,
Madden.
I don't know how bad Ghost was. Have any of us played it? Andy, did you?
I haven't played Call of Duty since Black Ops 1. So
Okay.
that's a while ago now.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, I've played it vicariously, so from what I saw, it is not a bad game. It's just it feels to me like the bastard child of Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 3. I don't know. It feels like an amalgamation of both. The levels are bigger. It's like almost trying to be like Battlefield, but in that they don't do anything special in the process. You know, the UI is a little nicer, but eh. Now, one of the things the Sledgehammer games, this is not an Infinity Ward or a Treyarch game, so that's worth noting. So again, they're going in a fresh direction. Just looking at that, they're promising that the loot system is going to be significant. They're saying it's going to be better than Destiny, Borderlands, and all that kind of stuff, which is interesting. Michael Conray, the co-founder of Sledgehammer Games, said that our loot system is reward-based, partly driven off of time played, like you've seen in other games such as Team Fortress 2. So that intrigues me. Having those kind of unlockables, it's such a freaking trap. Getting all those unlockables forces you to play more. But they said there's gonna be weapons, gear, and reinforcement loot drops in Call of Duty. What is it? Future Warfare, Advanced Warfare. I don't even know what the name is anymore. Because to me, it reminds me of Ghost Recon Future Soldier at times, or Advanced Warfighter. Anybody remember that?
Mm-hmm.
No one even cares about Tom Clancy anymore. That makes me sad.
Oh, Graw.
Yeah, girl, man.
Yeah, I played some Graw. I think I played Graw 2.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Graw 2 didn't have quite the impact though. By then, I think Tom Clancy games started falling off for some reason. And that and Rainbow Six Vegas kind of took over. But yeah, those are more slow-paced games, so it's a little less frustrating. I feel more strategy involved. But anyway, so the burning question is: will this be enough? You know, this futuristic stuff or these loot drops, will it be enough to keep the series fresh? It seems like we all kind of feel that it might that it's tempting us, right? So we'll see. And then, you know, when they say that the sales are gonna be less than Ghosts, I mean, it's still gonna sell like 7 million copies. That's better than most games these days. I mean, let's be honest. I think they're gonna end up doing 18 to 12 million easily. You know, that might be a slow start, but I think they're gonna get it. I think that they're maybe looking too much on the pre-order numbers. That's probably what's happening. But if you guys want to chime in on this really exciting Call of Duty talk, I know everybody loves Call of Duty. Give us give us your thoughts. 206-415-4987. Again, 206-415-4987. Leave us a voicemail, and we'll keep the conversation going. But one last thing, for those that follow all our shows on the Geeky Antics Network at geekyantics.net and our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/geekyantics, there will be a slight interruption of our streaming and podcasting schedule, particularly with Timey-Wimey Tea Time. I think HorsePLAY will still keep going because Obi will man the fort. He'll keep everything going. But yeah, don't worry, it won't be complete radio silence, or as I like to say, radio darkness. See, callback. I brought it back, guys. Anyway, moving on. No one's enjoying my puns right now. It's a tough audience tonight. Obi, what do we got?
I wasn't even listening. What?
Obi's like, I love this lollipop. It's so good.
I do, man.
Dude, you're really savoring it too, man. I wish I had a lollipop.
I got another one in the kitchen. I can send it to you.
Just remember,
express mail.
Just remember, all our listeners and live viewers hear every last painstaking detail of your licking.
No, they don't, because I have my mic set to where they don't. So you
watch. I'm gonna edit the audio later, and I'm gonna hear.
No, you're not.
It's gonna sound like a rabid dog is trying to eat the microphone.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Homie.
Oh.
And
Chip found our chat, by the way. Dun,
Yeah,
dun. You guys ain't safe now.
Ah, crap.
But you lose your place, Obi.
What?
Do your epic opening. You said you got your voice back. Come on, everybody's
Oh,
waiting.
I gotta do this one too. Come on, man.
It's
I
your
don't know-
thing.
I don't remember this one. Oh yeah, I do. Man crushes and
Geek girls. Geek girls, yeah.
I don't know.
There you go. It never gets old. So this is where we share our favorite man crushes and geek girls of the week. And if you have someone you'd like to share with us that could be a guest on the show or someone we could shout out, let us know. You can contact us via Twitter, our All Games page, or the official gang site, which is again geekyantics.net. And we'd love to hang out with you. So if you're someone that's a man crush or geek girl, worthy, then you can join us too. But for now, let's share our geeks of the week. Obi, you have anyone?
I do.
Do you? And by the way, geeks of the week are not just limited to Twitch streamers. Just a FYI, we plug streamers, game designers, podcasters, authors, all kinds of
You
geeks.
leave me alone.
What?
Anyway.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
just saying for people that might think.
I do want to give. I do. Right. I hear you.
All right, go ahead. Say your geek of the week.
Is it okay? Because
Go-
I'll wait if you want to talk some more.
No, go for it.
Okay. Just
The
making
floor
sure.
is
I don't
floor
wanna-
is yours.
I don't want to keep cutting you off. You know what I mean? But hey, you guys, I tweeted him out. I shouted him out before just because he's got some new games that he's playing lately. So if you guys are PS4 players and you guys like basketball, Battlefield 4, FIFA 14 or 15 actually, you guys should go check him out. And that's Pork Chops. I know he's I told him I was going to shout him out again this week, and he's like, "No, you don't have to do that." I was like, "Okay, I won't." So. But there it is right here. You guys go check him out. Give him a follow. Give him a look. See if you like his gameplay. He's really fun. He talks shit just like everybody else, but he can back it up. So big shout outs to Porky.
I love FIFA so much. Nah,
You're a
he makes it
I just wanna say
entertaining.
that.
He makes it entertaining. Now, every now and then I crack. I play some Football Manager. Because I don't know why that game entertains me. And every time I stream that, people are like, I don't know, they're like, it's cracked to them. And they're giving me tips like how to edit my lines. Like, this guy's red wing, this guy's a blue wing, and this guy's offensive with the wing back. And I'm like, I don't even know the positions. I know what you're talking about. I'm American. Football to me is the one where you don't play with your feet.
Real football.
Oh no.
Oh no. Hold on.
But-
Andy, I got your back on this one, buddy. Chip,
Yeah.
you can just shut
Well,
your-
I'm bitter because growing up, Puerto Ricans are the only Latinos that don't have an official soccer team. So you have Costa Ricans and Brazilians and all these different Latinos that have their own team, and we don't. So we can't get into it. We have baseball, we have basketball.
Are you mad, bro?
You mad, bro?
You mad, bro?
I just can't get into it like everyone else can. I used to watch a lot of soccer back in the days.
I think
threw
Chip has
down.
a problem with it too. The real
I
football.
could never get into soccer. Never got into it.
And just to let you know, soccer was called football before football was called football. Just saying.
This is true. But again,
But we're Americans, so we just take whatever we want and leave the rest of
American
the world.
football. American football is what you're saying.
Yeah, American football. Yeah.
Well, see, I'm Latino, so when I say football, I spell it with a U. Futbol.
BOL. Yeah.
Football, goal!
Football, yeah. We are watching football. Oh my God, he just scored that goal. Goal!
I have to say this. The sport is a lot more interesting when you watch it with other people that love it. Like, I wouldn't watch it by myself, but when I'm around people that are crazy about it, it's a whole different experience. When I watch it on my own, no. But if someone is really into it and knows the teams and everything and all the tactics and everything, then it becomes interesting. But, yeah.
Yes, Dan. We're talking about sports now for some odd reason.
Are we really talking about sport? That's part of geek culture. Sports are geeky. Fantasy football.
You can be a sports geek.
Fantasy sports prove that sports are geeky. So now it's open territory. We could talk about sports and not lose our geek card.
Anyone that plays any kind of sports management sim is a geek, for sure.
Yeah. There's so much involved in that darn game. That's like
you can't just play the real fucking game. You have to manage a team. There you go.
Yeah.
But see, that's what I find interesting
Sorry,
about the sports games. I'm the guy that likes to edit the playbooks and set up positions and strategies and all that kind of stuff. I like the behind the scenes stuff. Like the controlling, doing some jukes and stuff is cool, but like I like the play. I don't know. I like the strategies, man. I'm weird. So Football Manager is like exciting to me, especially you get to the political side of it. It's like, sorry, Bob, I'm gonna have to cut your salary.
Yep.
John, I'm firing you because you're an asshole.
Yeah, like I play the Football Manager games as well, but I think I've got over 500 hours into Football Manager 2010.
Good lord.
Aren't you also the big Pez fan,
Oh, yeah.
Andy? Yes.
Pez is my game, and I can't wait for it to come out in 2 weeks' time.
That's some really good candy too.
Yep.
Yes, yep.
The factory's right here in Connecticut. You can they have a tour. I'm supposed to take one of my nephews on it at some point.
Hey man, hook me up.
Yeah.
Get a bunch of peasants, send it to me.
Pez is good times, and it's built for sharing, man. They have the Pez dispensers that shoot out the Pez at a high velocity. Those are really cool. Take someone's eye out.
Hit me, George.
We know why that's been pulled off the market. It's like everybody will be suing them. Choking hazard. Be careful.
Yeah.
But my shout outs for
Take out
tonight.
an eye.
Yeah,
Please
you
use caution. You can shoot out your throat.
You'll shoot your eye out. But I got 4 shout outs tonight, and then for 4 kind of spooky / storytelling podcasts. One is called Darkness Radio. The other one's called Ron's Amazing Stories. Then there's the Walker Stalkers and We're Alive podcast. I got some more later on, but those are the main ones that I'll share. And I particularly like the last 3 because Ron, Eric, James, and Casey Whalen are really cool guys. If you tweet out to them or get them on your podcast or interview them, or just hang out with them, they're just really cool guys to be around. So, yep, those are my shout outs. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Shit,
And
they're talking shit about Connecticut in chat.
Oh.
yeah, the New England.
Sorry, BFT. I hate to throw you under the bus like that.
The New England rivalries. It's crazy. I have a lot of family in Connecticut, so if I ever move back up north, Connecticut might be my target, or upstate New York. Just saying.
New York.
New York, but
Going to
BFT.
New York.
Oh, I'm getting trolled by a masshole. Come on.
Uh-oh.
Dun dun dun. Shots fired. But BFT says that Blood Bowl is the ultimate football game, or anything Mutant League. Yeah.
Yeah.
Though I heard Blood Bowl
the
wasn't that
Mutant
good.
League stuff. Bring back Mutant League, man. That stuff was awesome.
Mutant
Yeah.
League and Sega Genesis.
Yep.
Or even did you guys like the NFL Blitz games?
Yeah, I got those for PS1 still.
Yeah, those arcade style sports games are pretty cool. Like NBA Jam and all that kind
Hit
of
somebody
stuff.
so hard their freaking head goes the one way and their body goes the other. That's fucking awesome. We're gonna have to cart him off because he's injured, dead.
And now with all the epic technology we can have realistic ragdoll physics.
Which that's one of the best things that they've ever done.
Yeah, but then they tried bringing Blitz back on the 360 a few years ago, and it didn't do well.
Yeah, they brought it back as an arcade game, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they had what was that? The EA game that was like, it was Madden Light. It was like 2-on-2 or 4-on-4, something weird. What was that called?
A failure?
That was Blitz. Where they would be Blitz was 7-on-7. Blitz was 7-on-7 because it was arena football.
No, this
And
is
they had
something
a
else.
5-on-5 arena football.
Yeah, that.
Have you ever gone to an arena football game?
Yeah, it's fun as hell.
The one I went to was brutal. The LA Kiss lost 23-74 or something like that.
Oh wait, that was against Grand Rapids Rampage.
Could have been.
Yeah, that's my team.
Oh, all right.
Just
Yeah.
saying, sorry.
Well, since we're talking about arena football, I was kind of sad that the whole XFL thing never caught on. With like, wasn't Vince McMahon behind that? And they were like trying to give it like a wrestling edge. Remember that?
Yeah. They
But-
tried it, but then it didn't work out too well.
It was a cool concept, but at least arena football is sticking around, so that's neat. I think we need more fun sports, because if not, one day we're gonna be watching like live curling, people, grown men brooming ice.
You can literally already do
Well-
that over here.
Well, when the Winter Olympics are on at my office, that's usually the sport that's on at lunchtime. We really got into the curling after a while because, well, that's what that was what was on the TV for Olympic coverage. So we actually kind of got into it.
It's
When I
so
used to-
weird.
I had one for you. When I used to work in a factory before I could work, actually, we used to get on the bottom of trash cans, the rolls, and then
Mhm.
we actually spin somebody to see if it would actually curl, and we do it down the hallway of one of the factory buildings. Yeah, we got
Well-
in trouble for that one.
I joke around about curling all the time, but it's apparently, I know people that do it, and it's apparently very like intense. Like, it's really tiring, and it's a hell of a workout. And that iron that they
Sweepers, man.
Sweep
Yeah.
faster.
sweep faster, sweep to the left, sweep to the right.
I'm sweeping both ways, motherfucker.
Sweep the leg.
That's what they need, full contact curling. Like, you go to someone else's lane and like mess them up.
That'd be cool.
Start going for their legs.
That'd be cool.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be
I mean,
hilarious,
they have
actually.
freaking ultimate or extreme frisbee. Why not?
Hey, Ultimate Frisbee was cool, man.
Ultimate Frisbee will kick your ass if you don't know what you're doing. You try to go up for something and you're playing grab back your, playground rules. So he takes out your knees. Yeah, it's not very fun.
There's still some New England rivalry going on here in the chat. I tell you, when I visit my family in Massachusetts, and most of them are in Connecticut, really, but I don't get into the New England rivalries. I'm like, I like New York team. There you go. Actually, I don't like any team in particular. You know what? None of them are paying my bills, so I watch whoever's good. How about that? Because not everybody's like, no, but the Red Sox this, or the Patriots that. I don't care. Stop it. Unless they're sending me money, I really don't care that much. I know that's terrible. I like sports, but not to that like degree when people are starting bar fights. It's like the one guy that cheers for the team that won is like, oh, let's beat him up. It's like, it's not that serious, guys. Stop it.
Well, where I went to college up in Vermont, it went for the Mets Red Sox World Series back in 86.
Yep. That's when
Yeah.
Hernandez was still around.
Yep, and the right team won, by the way.
I agree.
But I went to school up in Vermont, and they literally, by the sixth inning, they shut the bar down. No more drinks because
Oh, yeah.
we were, the place was absolutely insane. It was probably 50-50 Mets Red Sox fans, and it was just getting downright ugly. They just said, yes, just stop serving these assholes drinks. This doesn't end well.
Yeah, guys.
Over here it's much worse than that. Like, they don't even allow
Yeah,
fans
football,
of fans of the same teams to be in the same pub at the same time. Like, most of the time it's like they've basically separated pubs into, like, say, I'm talking in Glasgow here, they've got a Rangers pub and they've got a Celtic pub, and they're like on opposite ends of the city from each other. And if you're a Rangers fan, you do not go in a Celtic pub ever. And if you're a Celtic fan, you do not go in a Rangers pub ever. Because if you go in, they just know. Even if you're not allowed to wear football colours at all over here, and I'm talking proper football, like soccer, that you guys call it.
You
but-
mean the Giants, the Jets, the
Oh.
Redskins? Yes.
Oh my God,
Proper
Chip. We've already
football.
went over this. No.
Yeah, no,
Proper
it's-
football.
I'm not gonna give it up, Obi.
I'm not gonna give it up either. Just gonna see how fast you're gonna push it.
Let's be careful. We keep saying we're not gonna give it up. I feel some Rick rolling coming, and then we're gonna go a real dark place. But let's go on to our first segment here, because the sports talk is getting real. This is a little quickie. Obi, you wanna do your spiel that makes everybody uneasy?
No.
Aww. I won't do it either. So our little quickie for the evening is about We're Alive and some other fun podcasts. We've mentioned We're Alive before, but I think they deserve, now that Halloween's is it midnight yet? It's about to be midnight for those that are alive here. Little behind the scenes though for those that are listening after the fact. But yeah, it's gonna be Halloween here shortly, so we're gonna talk a little bit more about horror. And We're Alive is a radio drama that is very well done. I cannot speak enough good stuff about it. Back in our Zombie Talk series right here on HorsePLAY Live, around episode 8 through 12, we had Zombie Cast join us and some other folks that are huge horror fans, and we talked about We're Alive a little bit. And the story is interesting. The Casey Wayland and gang, they actually produced this show. They had the story written well before the Walking Dead TV show even came to be, and they just missed their window of opportunity. Like, I think if they came just before the Walking Dead, they may have had a stronger audience, or maybe after, because now the zombies, like, everybody's into the zombies. But I think maybe if they came right before the Walking Dead, they would have had a better penetration, so to speak, in the marketplace. But even so, they have a huge following.
Say penetration.
Yeah, penetration.
I was thinking the same damn thing.
Market penetration. But, so yeah, it's a quality show. It's authentic in that these guys truly love horror and they love zombies. They're not just like, now it feels like everybody's writing a zombie book or doing a zombie podcast or putting out a zombie movie or short or comic book. It's like, oh, give it a rest already. Most of these guys oppose it, but these guys really love this stuff. It's real high quality, and it's free. That's the best price for us cheap bastards. It's free on Stitcher. I think it's free on iTunes, and you can also buy the disc collections at we'realive.com. So I'm totally plugging the crap out of them because these are really good people.
We're alive.
Now, if you really listen to We're Alive, they have a new spin-off series coming out called Tales from We're Alive.
It says we're dead.
What? Yeah,
Sorry.
we're dead.
Like, their spinoff is from Alive is We're Dead.
We're dead. It's just one story. Everybody's dead. The end. No, but it's called Tales from We're Alive. It's in production now. I don't remember what the ETA on that is, but if you listen, a few weeks back, Casey Wayland was actually on Zombie Cast with Sean Freeman and gang, and they talked about it. And what's cool about it is this story takes place alongside the We're Alive story, and it fills in the gaps of the original story. Have any of you guys listened to We're Alive yet?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
No, I have. I Sean recommended it to me years ago, and I just don't usually have the time, or usually when I'm listening to podcasts, I'm usually working or doing something else at the same time.
Yeah.
It sounds like something you actually want to pay attention to when. So I haven't actually had a chance to listen to it.
Well, actually, I tend to multitask a lot when I listen to podcasts as well. With the story-driven stuff, it's a little tougher, but this one, since it's bite-sized and it's so well done, like, you'll pick up. I find that, they're like 20 minutes each, 20 to 24 minutes each episode, and there's usually like 4 episodes per chapter. So it's so bite-sized you can multitask while you're doing it. And then what I do is, if I really feel like I missed something, I'll go back to it. So it's never too late to get into. I think they only have like, oh gosh, I forget. They have quite a lot of stuff out there, but they have 34 chapters, so maybe like 100 and so episodes recorded. And the show is done now, so you can do marathon sessions and catch up with it anytime. But if you like, if you miss like old style radio drama, or you like audiobooks, but you want something that's a little more condensed, then We're Alive is like really, really good. And the voice actors they have on there are so good. Obi, you said you listened to it. You're not a fan?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was one of those things where I popped in because somebody said something about it on Twitter, and it wasn't really to me, and no offense to anybody that does these talk shows, a zombie talk show is a zombie talk show, really, to me. They don't really talk about anything different.
It's not a talk show, though. It's like an audiobook. We're Alive.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I've had my fill of zombies lately.
I have to say they take a different direction with it. I really like what they do. I'm surprised that with the ideas they've had on We're Alive that they haven't done some more creative things on The Walking Dead. Yeah, The Walking Dead sometimes, as much as I love that show, it's one of the best shows out there right now. sometimes it's just like, hey, let's walk around the forest for like 5 episodes and talk about tea, and I don't know,
Well,
tickle each other.
sorry to say this, and I know you're going to be disappointed in me, but I have no really Walking Dead, dude. I'm over it. It's the same thing every single time. So
Dun
I
dun
know
dun.
last week was like we were talking about it, and it was like, oh man, it's gonna be a good season, but I just have no reason to. I have no desire to watch it anymore. I have my other shows, Arrow. I mean, I gotta go watch a guy work out with his shirt off. Come on.
We were just, I think it was on our 084 episode. My wife has been bitching because I don't think he's had his shirt off all season yet.
I know. That's what's the funny part is like that's Yogi's number one complaint. Oh my God, why do I want to watch a guy that's gonna be working out any part of the show and he always has to have his shirt off?
No, but you missed the point. I don't care if I can care if he has his balls swinging around, but it shouldn't take like 25% of the show. Like half of the show sometimes is
25%.
it's like him working out with his shirt off and a flashback that adds very little to the story. It's like this. Let me tell you about the time that I was in China and I tripped an old lady and then I almost got hit by a car. Okay, what? Now let's work out naked. I mean,
who are the people around him during the flashback? I mean, he's looking. We're not getting into this tonight. I'm telling you, we're not getting into this tonight.
I'm not getting. There's nothing to get into. I love this show. I told you I love this show. I just
Don't
wish.
make me talk shit about one of your favorite shows.
You already talked shit about The Walking Dead.
Doctor Who, man.
So
blow it up.
I'm surprised you could say The Walking Dead is the same thing over and over again, but but Arrow's not. That's kind of a double standard if you ask me. But anyway,
no, it's not. They're doing well. Again, we're not going to talk about this shit right now, Yogi.
All right.
Well, just
I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed here. No, it's playing.
I know I told Andy this off here. I don't know if we said it on air or not during our Comic-Con show, but I went to the Lego Batman panel at New York Comic-Con this year.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a Q&A, and Stephen Amell was there because Arrow appears in Lego Batman this year. And I was walking up to ask my question was going to be whether or not they have Arrow doing shirtless chin-ups in Lego Batman. And then I realized what I was doing. And it's like, no, I got to go sit down now before I go and ask this. I was like, what the fuck am I? No, sit down.
I'm just asking for all the ladies in the audience.
Yeah, my wife wanted to know.
Yeah.
You know, if they were smart.
Is Arrow going to be shirtless in his Lego scene?
Well, they should totally, if they were smart, they should totally just have like an insert of like, the Arrow shirtless working out inside of like a bifold or a trifold kind of brochure insert inside of the Lego game. That'd be really smart. Because they're the people that would just buy just for the limited edition collectible. Dude, they would sell like hotcakes, man. I'm telling you.
I think so too.
It's like when I went to Walker StalkerCon, people were losing their shit over Norman Reedus and Andrew Lincoln, and they're great guys. Believe me, I got to talk to both of them, and they're really nice guys, and I love them both. But the teeny boppers were over the top. Everybody had a birthday on the day of their panel, surprisingly, and everybody wanted a hug because of their birthday. Like, hey, Andrew, I just want to say I love you so much, and I want to have your babies. It's my birthday today. Can I get a hug?
See, Comic-Con put an end to that. They tell you right before the panel, don't even think about coming up and asking for a hug.
Yeah. Well, and I get it because the bigger the event, the less you can have that kind of access. Yeah. Walker Stalker kind of still got that warmth to it, that tightly knit feeling. But they did curb it a little bit because it's funny, but then it's like you're taking away from everyone else that wants to be here and actually ask meaningful questions. It's like, keep your homos in checks, people. Anyway, do you guys have any horror podcasts or radio dramas or storytelling podcasts that you like? Anyone?
I I mean, the only like horror podcast that I would say I listen to is probably ZombieCast, and you guys will be more than familiar with them because you've had them on the show before, and yeah, I'm pretty sure you've been on their show as well.
Oh yeah, a lot of collaboration between us. Chip, you got anything?
Absolutely not. I don't listen to a horror podcast. Don't have time for radio dramas. Yeah, I'm lucky if I can get through 4 or 5 podcasts a week at work at this point. I'm spending too much time on the phone these days.
It helps. I always tell people the thing that's nice about podcasting is you could squeeze it in where you can't squeeze in video or reading a book in other places. But it really lends itself better to like commuting, like just taking a train or a bus and not having to worry about the road. That's like the best time.
When I used to spend more time on the road, it was great. I could listen to a couple podcasts a day if they're 2 or 3 hours long. But these days, they got me trapped in the office, and I'm spending so much time on the phone. I'm lucky if I can get through an hour and a half podcast during a normal work day. It seems like as soon as I hit play on the podcast, the phone rings every fucking time.
It's kind of like lighting a cigarette, Like the moment you light a cigarette, you're about to relax. For those that smoke out there, those of us are smoking age. Then something comes up to interrupt you. Like every time I light a cigarette, it's like the wife needs me or the kids needs me. I was like, damn it, can I just enjoy one cigarette without interruption?
My wife has the mutant ability to of as soon as she realizes I am turning on the PlayStation or the Xbox to come home. I mean, I will literally be hitting the power on and like mid-flight to flopping on the couch, and I will hear the garage door open every goddamn time.
Yeah,
she's not supposed to be home for a half hour. What the fuck's going on? It is
I
scary.
got out early, honey. Hi.
Yeah.
and if you don't ask them how their day went, then trouble's gonna happen. So you guys gotta put the controller aside or just turn it off. I end up turning it off because if I leave it on, it's gonna like bug me. It's like I'm wasting electricity right now. It's like I'm burning the system. It's like, I'm gonna be at least an hour here. I know it.
Like I try and I always find myself listening to podcasts when I'm gaming, and like I can listen to podcasts when I'm literally just doing just about anything. So like if I'm playing games, if I'm doing the dishes, if I'm hanging up the washings, any of that stuff, like I'll be listening to podcasts. As long as there's not somebody else talking to me, I'll be listening to podcasts. According to Stitcher, I've listened to over 1,500 hours worth of podcasts in the last 2 years, which is quite a lot.
Well, ain't you special?
Oh yeah.
See, when I'm gaming, I really want to lose myself in the game. I don't listen to music. I don't listen to podcasts. I just try to immerse myself in the game.
See, it depends though, because some games are not really that immersive. Yeah. Some games you just kind of play mindlessly, like a Pac-Man. Like that's not a game that's immersive, but it's addicting nonetheless, right? But like,
but at the same time, I kind of still want to focus in, Pac-Man or Geometry Wars or a game like that. You almost want to get into a Zen-like fugue.
That's true.
And be playing unconsciously.
Yeah.
And that type of thing, I always dig. I love Geometry Wars. I love the Pac-Man Championship Edition games. But I find I do best in those games when I just kind of lost. I'm kind of just in a zone and not even realizing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
The brain just shuts. Something shuts off, and it just happens. And then the next thing, the game's over, but you somehow have your highest score ever. Even with Zen Pinball, and I mean, hey, they have Zen in the title. That, and Andy knows how big a pinball fan I am.
Oh yeah,
it's that's when you get those incredible scores.
Chip, I don't think there's anyone that doesn't know how much of a pinball fan you are. I'm with you too, man. There's a lot of good memories there. I still have dreams to get a few Williams machines and like have a man cave with a pool table and some pinball machines, and I'll be happy.
They are a pain in the ass to keep.
I know.
Up, though. I mean, I have a guy come in. He comes in once a year. There's always something mechanical. A bumper that doesn't do things. The ball return doesn't work right. It costs me about $100 to $200 a year to keep the machine up and running.
Yeah, and the
Because
initial
I'm too lazy
investment.
to do it myself, but
Yeah.
well, and I'm afraid, I can fix some things, but I really don't want to screw up the machine.
Oh, there's like so many little parts in those things too.
Yeah.
That's so elaborate. It just fascinates me the things they do with those pinball machines. Like all the little moving parts they have is just crazy. So I'm with you there, man.
And that's kind of why I like Zen Pinball, because they can do things that just are slightly beyond what you can do in the real world with their tables.
I think you said. I remember you having a debate with someone else about this before, because there's a Zen Pinball, and the other big one was what, Pinball FX.
Pinball HD.
I always confuse them. Okay,
Yeah.
because one's more about realism and one's about doing things you can't do in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So some people there's the purists that want the realism, and then the ones that are like, man, I want to see what you could do in a world where there's no boundaries. Did you ever play a game called Dragon Quest or something? Dragon Crown? No, it's not Dragon Crown. I forget what it is. This is a while back, 16-bit era. Dragon something pinball.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It came out around the same time Motley Crue Ball came out, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like for a little while, there was also another game called Pinball FX.
Oh shit! Yeah,
It's like a pinball editor game. There are a lot of pinball games during the 16-bit era, especially on Genesis.
Devil's Crush.
Was it Devil's Crest? That might be it. It had like a real like dragons and like bone yards and all, and like everything was like made with bones and guts and all this stuff.
Yeah, it was by Sega, and they had Devil's Crush and they had Alien Crush, and yes, they were early virtual pinball tables.
Those were some of the best pinball games I ever played on any console ever.
There was a really cool one for, I think it was the Game Boy Advance, called Metroid Pinball or something to that effect.
Yep.
And that was cool too.
Metroid Pinball?
Yep.
Really? What platform was that on?
It was either I think it was the Game Boy Advance.
I think it was, yeah.
I think I may have played that one. That's around the same time they came out with the House of the Dead pinball game. I think.
Yeah, right around that time.
Yeah.
They were just making pinball games out of everything back then.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. I mean, that trend started with the NES. You had Pinbot and all these other ones, which were good too.
Sonic Spinball on the Mega Drive.
Yep.
Yep, that was a good one.
Mega Drive for us in the States, that's Sega Genesis.
Oh, yeah.
There's people that don't know that. They'll be like, Mega Drive? What the hell is this? Unknown console?
Now, Sonic Spinball was on the Mega Drive, the Genesis, but it was on the CD. It wasn't on the normal Genesis. You had to actually, that was a CD only game, if I recall.
No, it was Genesis too. I have it.
Yeah.
I still have my
Do you?
cart. Yeah.
Yep.
They did come up with the CD version, and I think it was a little smoother because like the Genesis version, I guess, started pushing the limits, and it got a little choppy at times. I don't know,
Alright.
some kind of issue. I don't know what was going on there. Maybe they just made something to make the Sega CD more attractive besides Sewer Shark. But anyway, I will recommend a few horror and storytelling podcasts, and I will say this: I agree with everybody here, Chip and Andy. That's hard to actually, obviously, Andy's found a better way to integrate 150 podcasts into his schedule, and including his bathing routine. So he's properly equipped for it. But if you're not properly equipped for that, then these podcasts I enjoy because you could tune in on any episode and always just jump in and enjoy it because they're not like they're timeless, material that you could always enjoy. So Ron's Amazing Stories, which I mentioned earlier, he has a lot of people call in, a lot of guests. Does a lot of supernatural stuff, short stories, really cool. Darkness Radio, like the name says, is about the supernatural and horror, and they do a live show too, and you can catch them on Stitcher. And it's really like creepy and really good late night listening. And then less on the scary side, but still good storytelling, The Danger Room. If you love X-Men, I love these guys when they read the X-Men comics, and they do Avengers and other stuff too. Their banter is very satisfying, especially when they comment on the covers and the artwork and the poor dialogue and everything. It's great. And of course the Walker Stalkers, one of my favorite Walking Dead podcasts, and Staggering Stories, which if you like Doctor Who, they do a lot of Doctor Who talk. Those are a few I would recommend. And like Andy mentioned, our friends over at ZombieCast. Obi.
Yes.
Obi had like the best poker face for like the past 15 minutes while we talked about pinballs. And I swear, like we're nerdgasming over pinballs and pinball games and all this stuff, and Obi's just there like staring like, I won't move at all.
Not a fan of the pinball, Obi.
No.
Okay. All right. Hey, it's not for everyone.
I think that's something like if you didn't grow up around it, it's hard to get into it, Like I spent a lot of time playing pinball when I was young, and it still has like a special place for me. Nowadays, it's really hard. Like, when's the last time you seen a pinball machine, like just walking around, And hell, arcades, they're like a thing of the past. So sad. I'm not gonna get to that sad story again. But so shout outs and love. Every week we talk about our allgames.com charts. Sadly we have these assholes like the B Team podcast and Gaming History 101 and 42 Level 1. These assholes that keep pushing down HorsePLAY Live on the charts. Sorry, I forgot you guys were here. But last week we were at number 13, and actually
that was a terrible joke, dude.
Well,
That was a terrible
we've been
try.
busting each other's chops the whole
Just saying.
time. It works.
I know, but that was terrible.
Your face is terrible. Anyway, last week
the
also I think I had said we were number 13, but actually we weren't on the top 15 at all. So I want to correct myself there. But please help us out. Help us out by playing our stream on allgames.com around 5 p.m. Every Thursday. And that's 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, and 10 p.m. GMT. Well, it's still a weird thing. Right now, it would be 9 p.m., but after this weekend, I think it'd be 10 p.m. Whenever the clocks...
It'll be back to 10 p.m. next week.
Yeah.
Sunday morning at 4 a.m.
So remember, kids, fall back, spring forward. That's how you can remember daylight savings time.
I still don't remember that shit. I have to ask every time. Like,
Yeah,
are we going forward or back?
It's amazing, dude, how many like grown folks are like every time daylight savings kicks in or gets goes out of effect, it fucks up everybody. Like the world goes through like a mini apocalypse.
Oh God, yes. We went to breakfast. We went to Sunday brunch once, and we show up. The restaurant's supposed to open, I don't know, 10 o'clock or whatever. We're there, and we show up, and the lady's there. Well, yeah, unfortunately, we had daylight savings time here last night. Yeah, guess what? So did we. We're across town.
Oh my God.
It's not like you lost electricity. It's not like a tornado came through. You turn the clock back an hour. What the fuck? We can't serve breakfast. We had daylight savings time last night.
Dude, and think about the people that work third shifts or night shifts or whatever, the swing shifts, and they're on the cusp of when the time change happens. Like that messes up people too. It's like, am I getting paid for this extra hour? Wait, am I losing an hour that I worked? It's like, it creates so much drama, man.
Back when I was drinking, it's like, what do you mean the bar can't stay open an extra hour? It's only 1 o'clock now. But apparently,
that's why the daylight saving starts at 4 a.m., not 2.
it used to be at 2. It actually was 2:01. I found out. That's how they got around to letting us drink an extra hour.
Yes, it's 2 o'clock. Yeah.
They have a little loophole. It's like get everybody out the door by 2.
Yeah.
2:01. Sorry, nope, doesn't count. You did not go back in time. Sorry. We were
Get
saying
back
that.
in your DeLorean, Marty, and
Oh, get back in the TARDIS.
The TARDIS, yeah. I'm telling you, daylight saving time. There's gonna be people waiting at the borders of different time zones. I'm gonna play hopscotch. It's like, I went back in time, bitches. You can't mess me up. But some quick shout outs. We made a lot of friends over at WalkerStalkerCon Atlanta. So I want to give some quick shout outs there. We also have an article up at geekyantics.net, so check that out. We go deeper into what the whole experience and kind of my feelings and what a lot of people feel about conventions and expos, how they're kind of going down the shithole. You have to really temper expectations when you go to these things. They're not about the fans. Do not go in there thinking that they are. What's that, Andy?
They're about the money.
Yeah. You gotta bring money. It's hard to go to these things when you don't have that much money to spare. And I mean money to spare, like money you can spend guilt-free and not regret later on. Like, damn. Sorry, honey. We're gonna have to
kill me.
We're gonna have to eat mac and cheese for the next 4 weeks. But
my wife just gave up. She's just exactly. We're gonna eat mac and cheese because my asshole husband is going to buy everything at the Marvel booth.
The markup at the cons though, the markup keeps getting worse and worse. No matter whether you go to PAX or Comic Con, the markup they have on the merch is just ridiculous. You know that they're pushing the envelope because they know people will still keep coming. You know.
Here's an interesting fact for you: the markup on booths for the cons for the 2014 was over 200%.
Yeah,
just for all the cons.
What you mean like, the markup on a T-shirt?
Yeah. Yeah. All the con, like PAX East, PAX, West, everything that's happened in 2014, the average markup for all the cons is over 200%.
I probably dropped somewhere around $500 at the Marvel booth at New York Comic Con this year. There wasn't a T-shirt under $25.
Oh yeah.
The two hoodies I bought were the two hoodies I bought were $100 a piece.
Good Lord.
My Shield man purse was probably $50-$60. But yeah, I mean it's just insane. And then you get into the autograph racket.
Oh,
that thing
I'll never ever go there. I don't care how big somebody is. If I gotta pay $80 to $100 just for an autograph, and then I gotta stand in line for 2 hours, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, definitely.
You ain't that important. I think you are.
They wanted $85 to get an autograph from Lucy Lawless, and she wasn't even down in the autograph area. It was like, and Lucy Lawless now looks like Lucy Lawless's mom.
Oh god.
Yeah. It's like, no, I'm not. Thanks, but no thanks. Stephen Amell was like $65 for an autograph. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, I know Yogi was talking too at Walker Stalker Con. If you didn't have something for them to sign, you had to pay $20 to get a picture or something. I mean, really?
And then they charge you to verify or validate them so that you can actually have provenance and be able to sell them. So they have resale value.
Yeah.
It's like, that's separate.
Yeah, but to get something that you're going to resell, okay, maybe, and you spend $100, and that's just for the, so you spend $100 just for the autograph. And then you got to go to the authenticating booth or authenticating table, spend another $65 just to get authenticated. So then you could say I'll sell it for, this is worth $150. Well, you've already spent over that, so you're fucked.
I don't know if Yogi and Obi know. I don't even know if Andy knows. But when I started doing this, it was kind of, I just did it on spec and just sent Video Game Outsiders my interviews. My first interview was with Gary Coleman, and it was at New York Comic Con, and he was just sitting there alone in his booth. Nobody was coming up to him, and the only way he would give me an interview is if I bought an autographed picture. for $25.
Aw, come on, Gary.
So, but we bought the picture. I gave him his $25. I got a 10-15 minute interview with him, and that started this whole thing for me with podcast and doing the video game, quote unquote, journalism thing.
You gotta,
And
you gotta remember too. Gary Coleman's really not that popular anymore, so
Well,
he's gotta,
especially since he's dead.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of hard to be popular when you're no longer around. Whatever happened to You Go Direct? Remember that?
Huh?
What was that website that he used to do video game stuff for? Remember?
I have no idea, because when I talked to him, he was really against online gaming, and it was a uncomfortable interview, I guess would be the best way to put it. You kind of felt bad for the guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that fought that whole paradigm shift, but it's the way things were going for a while. I mean, the writing was on the wall for years. But no, yeah, I'm pretty sure he had a website that he was one of the main contributors to. That was one of his last things that I know of. It was called You Go Direct or something like that. It was like IGN before IGN was really a thing. Yeah, I might have to go back there and double check. Don't quote me on that, folks. But I remember that was a thing. It was a kind of almost tacky looking website, but it was cool, and I always thought it was neat. Like, oh, now Gary Coleman is writing about video games. Neat. And I did pick up on that he didn't seem like he was big on the whole trend towards like online stuff and whatnot. So, I mean, in one way it made things better, and another way it made it worse. So I get both sides. But anyways, a quick shout out. So some folks we met over at Walker Stalker Con Atlanta. We have Chris and Angela from Conjuration. See, that's very clever. Which is actually starting October 31st. Through November 2nd in Atlanta, Georgia. Check that out. They promise that it's actually a real geeky convention, and it's not about bullshit autographs and monetizing and nickel and diming everything. So
we'll see.
They said they actually make it a thing that vendors don't do like excessive markup and other bullshit in their event. Like they really try to keep tabs on that. And I got to talk to them a lot. They're really cool folks. So if you're in the area, hey, check it out. It's like they're gonna do Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Narnia, Charm. It's like anything geeky, Doctor Who, Once Upon a Time, Buffy, Game of Thrones. They have all kinds of events and activities for that. So then we also have Starbase 1552, which is like a really cool collectibles shop based out of Tennessee. But they also have a eBay store. They have an Amazon store. They're all over the place, and they have all kinds of cool collectibles and comics. Check them out. Judd over there is a really cool guy. Unlikely Heroes. If you ever wanted to make yourself into an anime character, I think the kids are calling them chibis these days. A little baby anime character. Look these folks up, Unlikely Heroes. They're on Facebook, and they do really good work. I'm very impressed with the quality of their work. Then we have John and Leanne from Pittsburgh. Sydney and Matt from Chi-Town. April from Charlotte. Travis Love, who we got to hang out with at a bar. Really cool dude, one of the guys in Walking Dead. Scott Wilson, who smokes some very nice cigars, by the way. And if you guys are into The Walking Dead, you might remember Parker, a.k.a. Noah, a.k.a. Asthma Boy. Really cool kid. And Howard Sherman, who played Bub on Day of the Dead. All cool people, and we really enjoyed our time with them. So those are our shout-outs. But anyway, moving on. Let's move on to our feature. I think Obi's getting antsy.
No, I'm actually starting to get a serious migraine rolling out. But we do want to make sure we give shout outs.
It was the pinball talk.
We do want to make sure we give this shout outs to the people in chat as well. Any streamers out there, now that Gang is really hosting full time and we're hosting all the time. If you guys have a favorite streamer or streamers that you guys like to watch, let us know. Say, hey, give us the name of it so we can check about ourselves and maybe even give them a host as well. Because, of course, we love to interact and collaborate with all sorts of people. And, of course, we forge friendships at the same time. So if you guys have any of your favorite streamers, please let us know. And, of course, voicemail, email, 206-415-4987, or you can mail at geekingantics.net. So send that to us so we can actually get some more hosts out or some more hosted channels out. And, yes, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to be streaming shortly. I'm going to start. We got it all set up now. Chewy came back over and cleaned everything out, so we're ready to go. So Chewy wants to come on the show, by the way, too.
Oh yes, it'd be crazy. But yeah, I just realized how we went long on the our rants about our problems with conventions. Now Chip said he spent $500 in a convention. That's actually these days
Pretty
that's
cheap.
on the low end. Oh, one booth.
That's one booth.
Okay, yeah. One booth. Okay.
Man, you bought that bitch dinner for a week.
So yeah, so you're on the high end, Chip. Cause I know a guy. I met one guy that got like 25 autographs, and like he must have been averaging like $80 a pop because he got them validated or certified or whatever they called it, and all this stuff. And I was like, gosh, that's like, 1,500 at least right there. It's like some crazy. And then he did the photo ops on top of it. Ugh.
Yeah, see that's I really don't care about that stuff. My buddy, he paid to have his picture taken with the entire cast of the Karate Kid and get autographs from him. It's like, yeah, I that's not something I would spend money on. I mean, it's great talking to celebrities, but you really don't get a chance to talk to them. You get a picture taken, you get your picture taken with them, you get an autograph, get up and get going because there's a line 2 hours long behind you.
Mhm.
I just don't see the point in that. I want to interview.
Yep.
I want to sit down. I want to talk to him. I want to, discuss the character, discuss the show, things like that. But just spending money for an autograph, it's like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks.
And it's a revolving door. They just want to get people through, in and out. It's crazy. But guys, we gotta start wrapping up soon. So you guys ready to talk some horror? I hope you guys gonna have something to contribute. I'm getting the feeling I'm like the most hardcore horror person right now in the room, the virtual room.
I think that's a
And
pretty fair
for-
assessment.
Dun dun dun! Come on, it's
I wanna-
Halloween.
I'll try
it's a
something
Halloween
new
episode.
for you, Yogi, for
Okay.
a feature. Ready?
Okay.
And for the feature, Spooky Horror Hour.
Well, now it's a half hour.
Whatever.
So you guys in the chat and watching us live are gonna have to help me out. Otherwise, it's gonna be a whole lot of me and everybody doing an uncomfortable giggle while Obi tries not to have his head explode.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
So quick shout out. This is inspired by Ted Bracewell, aka Tedekin, and Sub Z, who used to have a spooky horror power hour or something like that. I think the name of the show was. I thought it was a cool concept, but what better time to discuss horror than tonight? It's officially the 31st, Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. But I'm gonna make it quick, since apparently I'm gonna be the only one talking about this stuff. Talking about our favorite horror movies, TV shows, books, games, and more. So we have a wide scope. I have a feeling we're gonna probably get stuck on the gaming stuff more than anything. Am I right?
No, we can go through them because I had a couple good movies and a couple good shows too.
Yeah,
All right.
I think I have a
nobody-
good show to recommend.
That nobody's
Okay.
gonna think about.
Okay,
Because
so
it's not really horror, but it is.
Okay, so we'll do it like this. We're gonna I'm gonna go around and ask everybody for the top 2 or 3 in each of these categories,
Mhm.
and then we'll go into discussion after the fact. But let's just go through these categories really fast first. Sounds good?
Deal.
So first, we'll start off with scariest shows or your favorite horror-ish shows. I'll leave it pretty wide open. So we'll start with Chip.
Have you guys checked out Constantine yet?
Yes.
That was a pretty awesome first episode.
That show is heading in a very good direction.
No, it's heading right for cancellation, unfortunately. But
No.
the ratings
It
were
is.
abysmal, from what I hear.
Ratings were at 26% of what they wanted them to be.
But it's got an Australian guy. Chicks like accents.
It doesn't matter, dude.
And he's got stubble. Don't the girls
So
like...
does Andy, but they don't watch it for that. They don't watch 40 Kilo 1 for that.
He needs to start taking off his shirt.
I know, right?
Folks, producers of
Andy's got an
Constantine...
accent and stubble, so I mean it's the same thing, right?
Look,
Yeah.
see, well, Andy needs to take off his
Almost
shirt
the same
too.
accent.
That's what he's doing wrong.
Halfway across the world. It's
So
all
that's
good.
what we need. I enjoy Constantine too. And it seems like it's closer to the... Actually, Chip probably know better than anybody else because I haven't read them in a while, but... Is it closer to the comics, you think? The DC comics? The show? Uh-oh. The deep breath.
Well, I mean, it's been years since I read Constantine, but they seem to have the style, his effect down pretty well. They won't let him smoke on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to go to the Constantine panel, and it was just too late, and we decided screw it. But I was going to ask, look, if you're not going to let him smoke cigarettes, why can't he vape?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I guess that might make him too much of a hipster douchebag, but that would have been my solution to it. I liked the first episode. The effects were cool. I liked his, they got his style down,
Yeah.
which I think is the most important thing. They had the look of the show. I don't know if it's gonna last more than 6 episodes though.
That's
And
a
that
shame.
would be a shame but it might be that we're hitting hero overload on TV. We're just getting they're just crapping out superhero TV show after superhero TV show these days, and we have like another 4 or 5 coming in the next year.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, have we hit the saturation point, and is Constantine the first casualty? But then I think we were talking on the B team tonight, and I brought up Constantine, and neither of my co-hosts even realized it was based on a comic book.
Yeah, it seems like they don't really lead in with that enough. Like, if they try to ride the coattails of Arrow and the Flash shows, which are doing well from what I've seen, I think they would get a little cut of that market. But also on the same token, it's even though it's a hero show, it's a little different. It's a little darker. I mean, he's a tormented hero, not to be confused with Oliver Queen, who's more of a whiny bitch, who has constant poop face. I swear he's always pooping his pants. Don't get me wrong, I love the show, but
if you listen to Arrow and you have failed this city, and then you hear Ollie Queen, Stephen Amell's voice is even squeakier in real life than Arrow's or Ollie Queen's.
That's funny.
He's even more. He even has more of a little puppy voice than Ollie. So, it's Well, see, the thing is, Arrow and Flash have each other. They're on the same network, so they have the support of each other and the cross promotion that they can work with. Constantine is all on its own on a Friday night at 8 or 9 p.m., one of the worst TV slots of the week.
Yeah.
And NBC doesn't have anything else to really support it.
That's true. It's a little out of place. They need a good block to support it. But let's move on. I think we can go deep on this.
Hold on. The night of the show don't mean a damn thing. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that right now. Because whether it's on Friday night or Saturday night, people have DVRs.
That's true.
If it was a show worth watching, then people would record it, and then then the numbers would still be saying that people viewed it. That's why people don't watch it, is because it's not worth watching.
Well, also
Did you watch it, Obi?
I watched about half of it and turned it off. That's just me, though.
Obi's really picky. I don't know what he finds as a good show. He likes shirtless guys. I need more shirtless guys.
Over here, it's a bit different, and it's actually broadcasting on Amazon Prime Instant Video over here, so it's on demand. So I think that's probably a better way to watch this show rather than like on a Friday night. Just watch it whenever you like.
Mm-hmm. And I agree. And one of the things that I've learned in the last year is a lot about Nielsen ratings from doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. cast.
Yep.
And the way the numbers work, I mean, they track different stats, but the only ones that are quote unquote official Nielsen numbers are live plus DVR1, which means the only numbers that Nielsen will track are those that watch the show live or watch it on a DVR within 24 hours of it airing.
Yeah.
So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ends up with pretty crappy live +1 numbers of somewhere around 1.5 to 1.8 usually, When you go, however, when you take in the quote unquote unofficial numbers of live plus 3 or live plus 7, it's going toe to toe with NCIS. So depending on what number is important to you and what number is enough for you to sustain the show, that's up to the individual network. But technically, when they're going to be setting ad rates during a sweeps month in the month of November, it's only those live plus 1 numbers that are the official Nielsen numbers, which will be used to set ad rates, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm extrapolating a little bit here and assuming a few things, but I do know that the only hardcore numbers from Nielsen are the live plus 1. The other ones are things you do to justify saying, no, our show really isn't our show really doesn't suck as much as you think it is, because, people aren't watching it live, but we do have 40 million people watching us every week, just not Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. They're watching it at their convenience within the week.
Now in the chat, we have some feedback over here. BFT says he recommends we read Year 3, Constantine versus Superman. And Stan says that he just can't get into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He says it feels like Marvel goes CSI. Convince me that I'm mistaken. Well, I don't think we should get into that discussion tonight, because we got to go through these categories quick before we run out of time. But that maybe we'll have to have you back on, and we'll have to go deep on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because the show's heating up. This has been a really good season.
Oh, it's been spectacular. This season.
So, and it hasn't been shirtless men. So they're doing without the shirtless men. Oh, no. Ward was shirtless. Damn it. See?
No. Ward did all his push-ups and prison exercises with his shirt on this week.
Did he?
Yep.
Oh, he
The
did,
shirt was
yeah.
on the entire time.
Even when he was upside down,
Yeah.
his shirt stayed on. How does he do it?
It's tucked it in.
Amazing. Well, now you just ruined the magic of it, Andy.
Well, they haven't. He's been in that cell for 6 months, and they haven't given him any new clothes. So that thing is kind of like surgically attached itself to his body.
He's got some crusties there.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
All
Obi,
right.
what's your pick for a show?
Are we not starting at the top?
No, we're still doing shows. So
I don't have any shows.
you don't have any shows?
Video game.
Okay.
Well, the one of the not scariest shows, but the one that I liked the best was Tales from the Crypt,
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
because it really wasn't scary, but it was funny at the same time. Because then you had the Crypt Keeper, all that other shit, which was that's and I grew up watching it. I mean, late at night we'd always be in bed. Me and my brother in our room, and all of a sudden we hear and we crack the door open just to watch Tales from the Crypt until our dad caught us. Come here. I don't want to.
Tales from the Dark Side also had one of the creepiest opening songs.
That was an awesome show.
Yeah.
That was like on Sunday nights at 11:30 or something like that.
Yeah, dude. When prime time actually had good stuff to watch.
All right, we want to get through these.
Yes, so
because I want to say something. We got like 10 minutes left, so
let's lean towards. So let's do it this way. If you want to share an old show, do that. But preferably something that's active that people can still watch. That'd be cool too.
You can still watch Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, but they're not active running. They're not doing new stuff, are they?
You didn't say it had to be new stuff.
I'm just saying, just make it more interesting. Well, anyway, whatever.
All right.
Have you been watching Sleepy Hollow, Obi?
Yes, I have. The next couple, okay, guys, we're gonna go through it like Yogi said. We're gonna do it, and I'm gonna lead this because Yogi lets people talk.
No, but no, you don't let people talk. I'm gonna do it. No, Andy, you say yours. Andy didn't go yet. Let Andy go.
I like The Walking Dead, but I mean, I think you guys have covered that quite a bit on the show before, so you know all about it.
Okay. Now, Obi, you could head it up. Obi,
Go ahead. No, you need to go. You need to go. What's yours, Yogi?
Right now I'm really enjoying American Horror Story, and I don't get what people say about either Asylum or Coven being the worst seasons. I think they're all good. And what's good about American Horror Story is that every season's like its own self-contained story, so you can jump in at any point. And each episode is pretty episodic too. Like you don't have to really pay attention to the overall story arc. They're just fun to watch, and it's more of there's still some gore elements, but it's more of the suspense and the tension and just messing with your head, which I think that's what defines good horror. Jump scares are cool, but you need that tension and that skin crawling. That's to me, the real definition of horror. All right, now let's moving along. Let's share some more favorites.
All right, we need your favorite, scariest video games, guys. Chip, give
Dead
us a couple.
Space.
Dead Space.
Yep.
What'd you like about Dead Space? Or what do you think it was? Why it's scary?
Maybe it just a sense of tension around every corner. It felt like going through a haunted house, or a trail of terror or that type of thing. Every corner you rounded was filled with dread, and I have never been more on the edge of my seat with any game other than that. It was the only. I think it's about the only horror game that I've actually enjoyed.
Nice. Andy?
I'm gonna go with The Last of Us here. Similar to what Chip was saying, like it just left me on edge for the entire game, and that's like an 18-hour game. I think it took me to get through it, and I was like on edge, feeling pretty much scared the whole time I played that game. So, Last of Us.
For some reason, I just don't classify that as a horror game, but I can understand where you're coming from.
Yogi, what about you, bud?
Dead Space is definitely up there for me, but one of the original scariest games, in spite of the graphics at the time, to me was Alone in the Dark. That game, the original one, not the abomination they made after the fact, because that game just messed with your head so much. Talk about trolling you and making you worried to open up anything or walk anywhere. I mean, it just messed with you in so many ways. It was just very brilliant, and it had that H.P. Lovecraft kind of story, the environment going on. Very well done.
Right. Well, and I'm going to just say a few of them, and these are games that I've played recently at a buddy's house or on my computer myself. But the new one that just came out, The Evil Within, was a really, I thought it was really, it freaked me the fuck out first time I tried it at my buddy's house. Silent Hills, those sagas games, Soma, if you guys ever played that or heard of it. And then Until Dawn, if you guys have never played Until Dawn. That is, I'm sorry, it's not supposed to, I'm not really scared of much, but when I sit there and just jump because of nothing, yeah, I'm done. I don't want to play it no more. It scares the living shit out of me, and And of course, Dying Light is another good one if you like the zombies chasing you type. The graphics are just really good in it too. So. What about the next question for you guys is the scariest moments? Now, Yogi, is it scariest moments in gaming, in movies, life?
We can skip that because I think we won't have enough time to really get deep into it. I'm curious to see what everybody thinks about like their favorite horror movies or scary movies, whatever.
Go ahead.
Me first?
Yeah.
Well, you guys already know by now that I love Sinister. That movie messes with your head so much, and it's not your typical slasher or just jump scare or stupid. Like all these horror movies nowadays is all little kids doing creepy things, or things jumping up at you or crawling on the floor. It's like, that's old. But Sinister really messes with your head, and it makes it hard for you to go to sleep afterward because it's just like, what the hell did I just see? Now, a little less on the scary side, but still really cool to watch, is a series of short films in a movie. It's a movie series called VHS, which is worth checking out. A friend of a friend, Ed Sanchez, did one of the shorts in VHS 2, and that movie's like crazy. So check that out. I think it's a nice treat. A lot of variety in horror there for true horror fans. That's it.
Chip.
All right. Traditional horror movie. I was really creeped out by the final scene in the Blair Witch Project. So that's one that's in my head. And I was actually in a similar room at one point, and it just freaked the shit out of me. I was like, what? I was like, no, I got to get out of here now. But when I think the movie that scared me the most, I'd have to say Titanic.
certainly the fans are very scary.
Well, I mean, I grew up on boats, and I can't go on one anymore. The scene where, they're like where the ship's all the way up in the middle of the air, and the people are, it's kind of first person as people are sliding down into the water there.
Yo, yeah, that was pretty
I,
gruesome.
I woke up. I mean, I'd have nightmares where I'd wake up in a cold sweat for months after that movie. And like I said, I'm somebody who grew up on boats, and I'm good. I can stand on a boat, but if you start the engines up, I'm overboard. So, and I really haven't been on a boat since.
I'll remember that if I'm ever on a boat with you.
Now,
Quick
quick thing, guys. Obi and Andy, did you guys like Blair Witch Project?
I did.
See, that's Ed Sanchez too. And a quick question. I want to see what you guys think. In that final scene, 'cause that final scene really is chilling. It's amazing what they did with such a small budget. But didn't it look like when, and spoilers for those that haven't watched it yet, I don't know what's wrong with you if you haven't, but didn't it look like the dude was levitating in that corner?
It did.
That's the play. Like, they don't really show you enough to know what it is, but it looked like he was levitating the corner when he was facing into it. And I still get chills thinking about what the hell is going on there. Is he nailed to the wall? Is it possession? And you never quite find out. So your imagination just totally gets you. So good. That's true horror to me.
Andy, what about you?
Definitely the scariest movie that I've ever seen is 28 Weeks Later. That movie absolutely terrified the shit out of me. I've watched it once and I thought it was amazing. I can never ever watch it again. In particular, it's the scene where they're going down into the subway tunnel and they're like walking over the bodies in the dark. That's just horrible. But yeah, I love that movie. And slightly less scary, but probably even more awesome. Brain Dead, which was one of Peter Jackson's first movies, way before he did Lord of the Rings or anything. It's a total zombie crazy horror fest, absolute go fest. And it's based in New Zealand and everything, so totally crazy. The guy uses a lawnmower as a weapon.
Ooh.
Well, how else are you going to use a lawnmower?
Well, yeah, exactly.
That reminds me of Sinister again.
Now there was a few movies that I liked the most. And I don't know if you guys would call it scary, but for how many copies of it was made, and not copies, but different versions were made of it, The Exorcist.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're, was it 1974 when it first came out? I mean, and then now they just made a new one here, not a couple of years ago. It always freaks me out. And The Descent. Which 2005, which
good call, Ovi.
Holy shit, freaked me the hell out. I got through about 3/4 of the movie and I still have not watched the rest of it. So
yeah, I have to say, dying at sea or dying in tight spaces, those are pretty hardcore ways to go out.
Let me die at sea. I don't care. I'd rather drown than be just sit in there where I can't breathe or I start freaking out. Then I got animals on me and. Yeah, if I get an animal on me in the water, it's probably a fucking shark, and I ain't gonna live that long. So whatever.
But dude, in the middle of the sea and at night, that's the total darkness. Unless the moon is full.
It's scaring me. Stop it.
Yeah. There we go. We finally got
out my window now, dude.
we got the right feelings going. No, Yancy says here, the Blair Witch scene where he is standing in the corner refers to the backstory when they tell about the witch earlier in the movie where the witch made one kid stand in the corner while she killed the other. I know that's what it's saying, but I swear if you look at it, it looks like his feet are off the ground a little bit. I know that's what it's referring to, but it looks like his feet are off the ground a little bit. But yeah. I mean, even that alone is scary. Just someone standing in the corner and not saying anything back to you. What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, but see, now we're getting the feels. We're getting into the horror talk, and we gotta wrap up. See, you guys. We'll have to get you back on the show.
Mr. McTalkie?
Well, we were having a good conversation. And
I wasn't talking to you.
Oh,
I was talking to Captain Chaos.
Well, yeah, if you get Chip, I already know. Once I go back up north and I hang out with Chip, we're gonna piss off everybody because we're just gonna talk up a storm and everybody be like, "You guys want a room?"
Before this ends, Andy and I wanted to do something tonight, and that is we wanted to extend an invite to Obi to join us on Agents of Shield cast next week.
Declined.
Oh, he doesn't mean
hold
that.
it, hold it. You gave me shit this summer because I didn't have you on. We wanted to do this tonight and bring you on.
Summertime is when I'm not busy. I mean, it's wintertime now, buddy. It's busy season. Yeah, definitely.
All right.
I'll definitely come. Well, it's on Sunday, right?
Wednesdays at